Why do we clap? Either out of solidarity before school presentations, before, after or during a speech, in the crowd in front of the stage, in the audience in TV shows. Clapping is present everywhere, but the question is, why do we even clap? The loudest clap ever recorded reached whopping 113 decibel. That's just as loud as a chainsaw, a raging jackhammer, and the one or the other village disco. The world record for the quickest clapping lies by 1020 per minute. That sounds like this. Clapping is the most common sound made by humans without voice cords. It's a great built-in instrument. So clapping is a social gesture we use in groups to express our admiration, especially for things happening on stage. But clapping can of course be used in a sarcastic or ironic way. When we clap, we do this with an average speed of 2.5 to 5 claps per second and a heart frequency between 2200 and 2800. But why do we clap if we could just simply use our voices? Let's be honest, clapping is actually quite a primitive sound, just based on experience. However, it never loses its effect and it's always understood because it is known in every cultural group. Clapping could be a reaction to an overload of enthusiasm and began as a direct and primitive reaction to arousal. But if clapping happens normally and automatically, the question of how it became so fixed in our Western etiquettes arises. A way of behaving you are so often enticed to follow, even when you actually don't want to. A study showed that the clap of an individual has fairly little to do with personal opinion of the quality of the performance. It's more about the behavior and wanting to belong to the group with whom you share this experience. In comparison with the spoken word, which gives a lot of information about the person speaking, clapping is quite anonymous, especially in a big crowd. The clap of a clapper doesn't reveal if it's a woman or a man, how tall the person is, or where he or she comes from. Maybe this is why clapping became the standard form of non-verbal admiration, because it's the loudest, easiest, and most democratic of gestures. Stumping your feet is too rough. Not everyone can snap their fingers, and we were even raised to clap sociologically and even psychologically speaking. In the 6th century before Christ, the Cleistens of Athens introduced several democratic reforms, one of which was the duty to clap in admiration of the leader, because not everyone could introduce themselves to the ruler personally and thank him, and so a superorganism with unified voices arose: the applause. There are people who animate to clap since the 19th century, the so-called claqueurs, so professionals who learn a theatre play and opera off by heart to clap at the right moment but also to cry or laugh. The audience knew right away what to do when. Even today, the applause symbols regulate the behaviour of the audience. The easiest reason for this is that we are expected to behave in a certain way. So it's not a biological, psychological reaction, but the internalization of historically influenced social norms.